Your first step in creating an APA formatted document is to go to docs.google.com. Once there, you will click on a blank document. First off, we want to have 1-inch margins. To change our margins, we will go to File, then down to Page Setup. Here on Page Setup, just verify that all 4 of your margins are set to 1 inch. Then click on OK. Next, we want to change our font to 12-point Times New Roman. Our font can be found here on our toolbar. Just click on the drop-down, choose Times New Roman, and choose the font size of 12-point. We also want to make sure our document is set to double spacing. Our line spacing is found here on our toolbar, and we're going to choose double from the drop-down. On our title page, we're going to create a header. To insert a header, we're going to go to the Insert menu, then we'll go down to Header and Page Number, and to the right of that we will click on Header. Once we are in the header, we are going to change our font size to Times New Roman, 12-point. And notice that our cursor is at the very top of this document. We want to move it down towards the bottom. To do that, we're going to change our line spacing in our header to single. And then we're going to press Enter 3 times to move down to the bottom of the header. The header on your title page is different than the header on other pages. So we're going to check this little box here that says different first page header / footer. When we do that, notice that all of the formatting we just did went away, but that formatting should be there for our other headers when we get to those. So now that we're in our different header, again we're going to change the font to Times New Roman, 12-point, change the line spacing to single, and press Enter 3 times to move to the bottom of the header section. In the header of our title page, we are going to key in the words running head, colon, space, and then you'll put the title of your paper in all caps. Also in our header of our title page, we need to include the page numbering flush right with the margin. To do that, we're going to go up to our ruler and we're going to click somewhere between 6 and 6.5 on our ruler. When we click there, it gives us the options to add a left tab, center tab, or right tab. We're going to choose Add a Right Tab, and we'll see that tab show up here. But we're going to click on that tab and we're going to drag it right to 6.5 and then release our mouse. Now to use that tab, we'll hit our Tab key, and this is where we would like to insert our page numbering. To add page numbering, we go to the Insert menu, down to Header and Page Number, and then we're going to choose Page Number and choose the upper left option. For the title page itself, we will click down beneath our header. Now we're going to turn on centering by coming here to the toolbar and clicking Center Align. I'm going to press Enter a couple of times. And for our title, we're going to turn our cap lock back off and key in our title in initial case. If you have a longer title, you can stretch the title into 2 lines. After your title, you'll press Enter and put in your name, still in initial case, and then press Enter one more time and put in the name of your institution. Because you're turning this assignment in as a part of a high school English class, your teacher has requested that we also add your class period. To do that, we'll include it right after the institution name. We'll do a space, hyphen, space, and then your class period. We'll say this one is A1. A title page should be centered in the top half of this page. So we're going to zoom out. You can do that by holding down your control key and using your scroll wheel on your mouse, or we can come up to the little kebab button in the upper right hand corner and change your zoom so that you can see the whole page. And then you need to identify where the halfway mark is. So it looks like my halfway mark is about right here. And I want this title centered between my header and the halfway mark. Looks like I need to add a little bit more space, so I'm going to bump it down again. And I feel like that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to zoom back in. Once finished with our title page, we want to start the next page without pressing enter a whole bunch of times. To do that, we will hold the control key and press enter one time. For this new page, we need to apply the proper header. So we'll click back up in the header on our document. And on this header, we want to remove what is already there. It's applying a page number, but we want to make sure it's in the right position. So I'm going to delete that page number, and I'm going to backspace until my cursor is back at the left of my screen. The fastest way for us to format the header on this second page is to actually go back to our first page, and we're going to copy and paste the header from page 1. So back at page 1, I'm going to click and drag and highlight my header that's there and do Control C to copy. Then I will go down to my header on page 2 and do Control V to paste. Now that put in my header with the correct page numbering. The difference with the header on this page is that we want to remove the words running head. We just want to have our title and our page numbering. Once our header is finished, we'll click back down below into the document itself. When we click down below, we can see that our cursor is really close to our header that we have here. So let's adjust our header just a little. We'll click back up above, and we are going to hit backspace one time to move our header up one line. Then we'll click after our page number and press enter one time to add a blank row. Now when we click below, it looks more like a double space between our header and our main document. The next section of our APA document is the abstract. Notice our cursor is still centered. We'll go ahead and key in the word abstract. It is keyed in initial case. Then we will press enter one time, which gives us a double space, and we'll change our alignment back to left align. Now you are ready to key the text of your abstract. Once our abstract is completed, we're ready to begin another page. We will do that by pressing Control, Enter, and now we're on page 3. Page 3 will have the title of our document centered, so we'll change our alignment back to center. Notice that this title is initial case and double space. Remember, if you have a long title, it can take up 2 lines. After the title, you'll press enter one time and then align left, and you're ready to key the paragraphs of your document. Each paragraph will be indented, so we'll press our tab key one time and key in the text for your document. I just added some fake paragraph text just so we can see a more complete document. Once you are finished with all of the content of your paper, the last thing to do is to add our references. To add our references, make sure you're at the bottom of your document. Press Control Enter to begin a brand new page. On this brand new page, we'll turn on centering, and we'll key in the title of References in initial case. After references, we will press enter one time to get a double space below that, and we will turn on left alignment to move back to the left. Now, a references page also has a hanging indent applied to it. To apply our hanging indent, we will go up to the Format drop-down, go down to Align and Indent, and over to Indentation Options. From this box, under the word Special, we will choose Hanging, then we will click on Apply. Now things don't look any different yet because we haven't put in any of our references. However, if we look at our ruler, we can see that we have a left indent now at a 1/2 inch and a first line indent that is back at the margin. That lets us know that hanging indent is applied at this point. Now I've added some fake references here just so we can see what hanging indents look like. With a hanging indent, the first line is at the left and each consecutive line is indented. Now the thing I want you to know about this is that I did not press tab, the hanging indent did that for me automatically. So if I were to create another reference here, notice that as I get to the end of line 1, it automatically goes to the next line and automatically indents that text. Another thing you should be aware of on the reference page, notice that the references are in order by last name. The only thing that we have left to worry about is the title of our document. If we click up here, it should fill in with the title of your paper, or you could change that to the title of your assignment so that you can find it easier within your Google Drive.